No more, Jimin, please. He gently pushed his hand aside, which reached out to feed you yet another slice of apple, and showed your puppy's eyes, well aware of their effect on him. But you haven't finished half of the plate. Have a few slices more. I won't force you after that. He made an attempt to coax you and push a little more food down your throat. However, you turned your head away, covering your mouth with your palm. I said I don't want to eat. I'm going to blast like firecrackers if you keep feeding me more. I'm no less than a tanker right now. Your words muffled against your palm. You pointed at your almost 9 months baby bump. He sighed and opened his mouth to say something, but his mother interrupted in between. Have this glass of milk. It's healthy for both you and baby. She forwarded the glass of warm milk. You took it with a warm smile adorning your lips. Jimin gasped and looked at you in disbelief when you drank the milk in one go. Jimin's mother smiled and patted your head gently. Jimin, I'm going to sleep. Take wine in your room and sleep. Don't stay awake for long. And wine, if you feel any discomfort, wake him up. Your due date is near. Baby can come anytime now. She instructed and left after getting an assuring nod from you and Jimin. Jimin turned to face you and squinted his eyes. When I asked you to eat one last bite, you were throwing tantrums. Mom said only once, and you gulped the whole glass of milk, hypocrite lady. You giggled and put your head on his shoulder. Our relationship just got better. I don't want to do anything that would upset her, be it because of baby. At least we are on talking terms now. Jimin hummed and kissed your head. You and Jimin had a love marriage. Jimin's mother was against your relationship because she wanted Jimin to marry her friend's daughter. But despite her attempts of breaking your relationship, Jimin remained adamant and married you. After marriage, she avoided you to her best. But after a year of marriage, when you announced the arrival of new member in the family, something changed in your relationship. She approached you. Slowly and steadily, your equation with her changed. Though the relationship was not that good, but it was not much better than before. You believed it would improve even more after your baby would come to life. Come on, let's go and sleep. You need proper rest, dear wifey, he stated. Rising from the couch, he helped you in standing up as it had become difficult for you to move even an inch, your bloated belly being the biggest hurdle. I swear, Jimin, I'm not letting you impregnate me ever again, you uttered after he made you lay on the bed after discreet efforts. Your stare turned into glare when he laughed at your remark. Really? Aren't you the one who desired to have at least 5 kids? What happened now? All your courage drained down in only one? He muttered as he climbed on the bed beside you and covered both of you with the comforter. That time, I didn't know I have to go through all of this. Weird cravings, mood swings, fatigue, physical, mental and hormonal changes. Too much. I bow down to all the mothers out there who go through this to bring a baby to life. You stated and rubbed your belly where your little one decided to play football. True, mothers are really something. We don't appreciate them often, but they deserve all the love and respect. But in all of this, we often forget fathers like me who stay beside their pregnant wife, taking care of them, helping them in every way possible. I'm asking for too much, but we fathers also deserve a little amount of appreciation. You looked at him and smiled. Speaking of appreciation, my today's amount of appreciation is still due, dear wifey. Mind showering some love on me? He approached you with puckered lips. You chuckled and packed his lips. However, the insatiable man beside you whined and turned the soft back into intense lip lock. He grabbed your lips between his, sucking softly yet passionately. You gave in, closing your eyes and tugged at his hair. He grunted in response and deepened the kiss. His carnal desires were overtaking his brain, but he was a man of self-control. After giving a few more sucks, he pulled away, though reluctantly. He tucked your loose tresses behind your ear and placed a chastity kiss on your forehead. Sleep, sweetheart. Wake me up if you feel any discomfort at night, okay? Getting a positive response from you, he stroked your head. His fingers glided through your hair, disappearing in your silky black locks. His other free hand slid around your waist. His fingertips gently pressed your lower back. A relieved sigh escaped your lips, and you closed your eyes. With his one hand caressing your head and other massaging your back, you drifted to sleep within few minutes. After making sure you were in deep sleep, he shifted a little away from you. Your pregnancy habits were weird. You needed his cuddles to fall asleep, but you needed full space for a comfortable sleep. Cuddles during sleep made you feel suffocated. That was why he slept on the edge or sometimes on the couch to provide you proper and better space. You squirmed on your spot, feeling a little restless. The tick-tock of wall clock and gentle whispers of the midnight wind fell on your ears. You slowly opened your eyes and glanced beside you to find Jimin sleeping. A smile curved on your lips due to the alluring sight. He looked ethereal even in his sleep. The momentary distraction did last longer when you felt wetness between your legs. Not again. You groaned and peeked inside the blanket to see your pajamas wet. This was yet another weird, embarrassing thing to be not able to hold your pee. Due to the pressure on urinary bladder, it happens involuntarily. You remember the first time it happened. You cried due to embarrassment. But Jimin was there to comfort you, telling you it's normal during pregnancy. You looked toward Jimin and bit your lower lip. You felt bad for waking him up, but you didn't have any other choice. Jimin, Jimin, wake up. You poked his cheek. His eyes shot open as he jolted up from his place. Are you okay? You need something? He muttered, caressing your head. You stayed silent, keeping your eyes down as embarrassment kicked in. As he understood your feelings without words, he removed the comforter and his eyes caught the sight of wet patch on your pajamas as well as the bed sheet. Come on, let's change your clothes and you don't need to feel ashamed. It happens. He got down the bed and helped you in standing up. He held you by your waist and escorted you towards the dressing room. Lucky would be an understatement for what you felt around him. You felt special and out of the world. No matter how much you thank the Almighty, it would never be enough for sending Jimin in your life. I want to wash up. Okay, let's get you to the washroom, he said and was about to walk towards the bathroom door connected in the dressing room. But you stopped him. Don't worry, I'll manage. Please take out some clothes for me. He hesitated, nevertheless nodded, and indulged himself in taking out some clothes for you, while you walked towards the bathroom to wash up. The wetness was making you uncomfortable. You removed your clothes and winced when you felt a sharp pain shooting in your lower abdomen. Ignoring the momentary pain, you stepped inside the shower. As you walked inside, you noticed the sleeky wetness between your thighs. It wasn't urine, but a sticky fluid leaking from your genitals. Your eyes widened as realization dawned upon you. Jimin, you shrieked loudly and crossed your legs. Hearing your horror-filled scream, Jimin barged inside. What happened? And why are you standing like this? Jimin, baby's coming. He or she will fall down. You pointed at the wetness which trailed down from your thighs to your feet. He blinked his eyes, absorbing the information. You clenched your thighs, fearing the baby would fall down from your legs if you didn't cross them. Wait here, he mumbled and strode outside the bathroom. Within few seconds, he reappeared with some clothes. He made you wear one of his hoodie. Cleaning you up with a white wet towel, he made you wear sanitary and his shorts over them. Can you walk, or should I carry you? He was utter calm, contrary to the nervousness that crept inside him. You hissed when another cramp shot in your abdomen. I can walk, the pain is not severe. He held you by your waist and guided you outside. On his way, he grabbed the bag he specially prepared for the very moment and called his parents. With excitement and fear mounting inside him and you as well, your family intruded towards the hospital to welcome the new member who had started knocking the door. After 8 hours of labor pain, you were finally taken to the delivery room after doctor gave a green signal that you were dilated enough to give birth. Jimin stayed back, wiping his unshed tears. Your cries and tears of pain pierced his heart. Only if he could, he would have taken your pain away. He stood in the corridor looking at the closed doors where doctor has taken you. Don't worry, she will be fine. His father gave a comforting squeeze to his shoulder. He looked at his father with glossy eyes. I'm feeling helpless. I can't do anything to lessen her pain. Every mother goes through this, Jimin, but it's all worth it when they hold their little one in their arms. Rest assured, nothing will happen to Vine or baby. She smiled at him, rubbing his arm in a comforting manner. Jimin looked at her and smiled amidst the tears. After what felt like an eternity, the doctor came out of the delivery room. Jimin jolted up from his seat and rushed towards her. His parents followed closely behind. Doctor, my wife, is she okay? Is she still in pain? The doctor smiled, sensing the urgency in his voice. She nodded her head. Yes, Mr. Park, your wife is perfectly fine, and congratulations. You have become a father of a cute little baby girl. Jimin gasped in astonishment. The tears he had been trying to hold back cascaded down one by one. He was on cloud nine, feeling extremely giddy and overwhelmed with the good news. We are shifting them in a private ward. You can meet them after that. Excuse me. The doctor excused herself and went away. Jamal's father embraced her in a tight hug. I can't believe my son has become a father now, he whispered, overwhelmed with the good news. The moment was both happy and emotional for them. Breaking the hug, Jimin turned to his mother and hugged her. She forced herself to reciprocate the hug. Her face was devoid of any emotion. The glow from earlier was gone as a sullen expression took over. Mom, I'm a father now, and you, Grandma. He chuckled, leaving a pack on her head. He frowned when she removed his hands and parted away from the hug. I want to go home. I'm not feeling well, she murmured, avoiding his questioning eyes. What happened? Shall I call the doctor? He asked with concern, buying her excuses. No, Ned, I'm just tired. I just want to go home. But Mom, don't you want to meet your granddaughter? He asked with a big smile etched across his face. She avoided his eyes and said, I can meet her later, but I really want to go home. I'm not feeling well. It's okay, Jimin. You stay back with Wine. I'll take her home. Call me if you need anything. He patted his shoulder and left with Jimin's mother, though he desperately wanted to meet his granddaughter. Jimin looked at his mother's retreating back. He noticed that something was off with her. She was fine a while later, and suddenly she wasn't feeling well. However, he shrugged off his thoughts, turning his focus back on his wife and daughter. You slowly opened your eyes and looked around in daze. Your eyes fell on Jimin, who was sleeping on the chair, resting his head beside you. Smiled and brought your hand to stroke his silky locks. He sighed in sleep and woke up with a smile. Your smile widened when you saw him gazing at you. How are you feeling? He asked as he lifted his head off the bed and straightened up. Awful. My body's still in pain. My stomach felt like jelly. It sinks down there, and I'm bleeding rivers. I'm feeling worst but happiest. I'm sorry that you had to go through the pain alone. If I could, I would have never let you suffer alone. I had never felt so helpless like I was feeling seeing you in pain. He confessed with sincerity. You smiled and cupped his face. He sighed and leaned against your touch. But the pain is worth it if it means giving birth to a beautiful baby girl. You know, she is so tiny. Her face is smaller than the size of my palm. She is so cute, the complete Xerox copy of you. You exclaimed. Your eyes sparkled with extreme happiness as you mentioned about your daughter, reminiscing the moment you held her pinkish blood-stained body in your arms. Where is she? You asked after a brief pause. He pointed at the crib beside your bed. You tilted your head and found her sleeping peacefully. You pouted due to her cuteness. Shall I bring her to you? You instantly bobbed your head. He pressed a switch in your bed and its upper half raised up, supporting your body in sitting position. Meanwhile, he walked towards the crib and gently picked the little one, just as the nurse told him. He placed her in your arms when you extended your hands towards him. She is so cute and tiny, my tiny munchkin. You mumbled as tears fell in your eyes. The moment was full of tranquility, extremely peaceful. Holding her in your arms made you forget all the pain you had to bear during her nurturing period. You placed a gentle kiss on her forehead. At the same time, Jimmy placed a kiss on your head. Where's mom and dad? You asked after a brief pause, noticing their absence during the memorable moment. They went home. Mom wasn't feeling well. Is she okay now? You asked as concern fell inside your heart. He nodded with a smile. Yeah, don't worry too much. Dad is with her. For now, focus on our daughter. He stated and sat beside you. He wrapped his one arm around your shoulder and stroked the little one's head with his other hand. Never knew a moment would be so serene that I would want it to freeze in time. I was already happy with you, but today you made me the happiest. Thank you so much. He placed a long peck on your temple. You smiled and closed your eyes. Let's see if your love retains the same after this or your whole attention will be on your daughter. My love for you can never be the same. It intensifies with every moment, every breath. Mom, what happened? You have been a little off lately, and you also don't talk to why neither you had Sarah for once. He voiced out the things that had been bugging him since last 1 month. He sat with her after they had their dinner. Van went to her bedroom along with Sarah, and his father was out of town for some work purpose. Van also noticed you are behaving oddly. You were good with her until last month. What changed so suddenly that you are back on square one? He asked as his wife's gloomy face flashed before his eyes. His mother sighed and peered at him. She took a deep breath before dropping a big bomb on him. Jimin, divorce Wine and marry my friend's daughter. Jimin's lips parted and he looked at her incredulously. The words rang in his ear on loop and he had to ask again, thinking he heard something wrong. What? We need a boy for the sake of our family's legacy. You married Wine and I accepted her, but she gave birth to a girl. I need a grandson who will be our heir. Obey my word, Chairman, and marry my chosen bride. I believe this prestigious alliance will provide security to our family's future. She exclaimed. Chairman silently looked at her without uttering a word. Unbeknownst to them, you stood at the base of the stairs hearing their conversation. You had come out of your room with an intention to talk to Gemma's mother, but her words left a bitter feeling inside your heart. More than her words, your husband's silence irked your sentiments. Tears escaped your eyes without you knowing. You clutched your daughter closer to your chest. She murmured and snuggled against your warmth. You wept silently, hearing her explaining how abandoning you and your daughter would benefit their family. Family? Weren't you and your daughter a part of their family as well? Or you were in delusion all this while, considering yourself a member of their house, but reality was far from it. You gazed fixated on Jimin with the hope that he would utter at least a single word in your defense. But your expectations came crashing down when he remained silent. You wiped your face with the back of your hand and kissed your daughter's head. Turning on your heels, you trudged back inside your bedroom. His bedroom, because you didn't know you were righteous enough of calling anything yours at that instant.